I'm Alanis, and I'm here at Anodyne Coffee in Milwaukee with Garden Home, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Dylan. I play guitar and I yell.
Hi, I'm Mitch. I play bass.
I got one over here.
I'm JD and I play drums.
I'm Mike and I play guitar.
So you guys are doing, this is the final show on your tour you're on currently with Chaplet, Bug Moment, and coming up on the 1-year anniversary of your first album here.
Yep.
How does it feel a year later with this album coming out? Like, what are your thoughts on it now as it's aged a little bit?
I mean, I'm not sick of it. It's awesome. I don't get sick of playing like any of the songs.
Yeah.
Whereas like some of the older stuff, you know, I'm kind of glad we're kind of moved past it. But like we can play any of these. So I would be happy for sure.
Yeah, same. Every now and then I know one of us will like pump the record, kind of like either a driving situation or like maybe at the gym, just to be like, do I still like this? And usually the chat is like, pretty good, gang. Like this is holding up right now. It's been a fun like year watching it roll out, develop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of all the songs, and it feels like the hype has not died down at all over the entire year that it's been out, and we've stayed. The attention on the record has not dipped, it doesn't seem like, so that's good, and we're doing our part to kind of keep it out there as well with the tour that we're just wrapping up now. So yeah, exciting times indeed.
I do also want to say that speaking of the tour, we're very excited that our New York show had just sold out. So yeah, speaking of attention continuing, that was a validating moment.
Oh, nice. Who was part of that New York show?
The New York show had Oolong was the headliner. It was a bunch of Long Island bands. So it was Oolong, Moose Creek Park, friends of ours. Played with them a few times now, former label mates. And High Reach is from Long Island. They were sick. And then also there was a band who had their first show, Cocaine. But there's some like shorter sets. It was a cool night. A lot of like friends and family came out, and also a lot of new faces and stuff. And then Bug Moment, where we've been on tour with, also played. Yeah, it was a great night.
So like a lot of this album, there's a lot of like post-hardcore influence, stuff that really sounds like it would come like fit really well in like with a lot of in early 2000s post-hardcore. Is that like a style, like a genre that you really guys draw a lot of inspiration from, while incorporating a lot of the newer Scrams elements and Scream elements?
I feel like Mike should answer the most. He's definitely the riff father of the band.
Sort of. I mean, we started this band kind of based around a mutual love of Touche Amore. But
I would also just throw Title Fight in that mix. Like, well, I know you don't still, but at the time, like.
yeah, it's hard to say, but
More
it's
of
like
a Glitter fan now?
Yes,
I've been bumping that. Like 2024 record, but it's more like a. I don't know. We were writing like heavy music that was in standard tuning, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And like what was weird for us is like we weren't writing like breakdowns or anything, but we were still like screaming over it. And then we kind of like, I think we just sort of naturally discovered more like scramsy bands and started like putting those influences in there too. So it sort of started with like those early 2000s post-hardcore bands, and then like we sort of gradually started playing with Scrams bands and getting into that kind of music, and then those influences started bleeding into like the writing process for sure.
JD's always the one that I target for. He's our hip hop head in the band, and he's the drummer. And I feel like there are moments you can catch about, you know, just kind of how there's like bouncy moments and stuff. And he brings a great element of that to the writing process. So there's like just a lot of genre fusion.
Yeah, and then you mentioned Title Fight and being, I meant to say, Touche Amore being one of your major influences, like especially with their 2020 album, Lament. That's a very mixed, like, fourth wave emo with Scrams influences a lot on that. So I can definitely see how you guys are taking like a heavier version of that and then kind of amping it up. Because what I like about and appreciate about a lot of your songs is that they are more melodic, they are more stretched out, and there are these longer riffs in there that really give the song kind of more weight and gravity to them. They're not as short and punchy as as a lot of like other contemporary bands. They kind of fall back on some of these older, more tried and tested like tropes that are really like give a great weight to the album and give it like a real body that it can like stand on. Was that something that you plan on trying to develop develop into like future projects, or you want to maybe branch on something new?
Thank you. First of all, yeah. I feel like we say it a lot. I'll let them talk, but we're not great at writing with intention. So I think we just kind of continue to pull from this wide well of influences.
Yeah, I feel like when we write songs, there's not like a point where we're like, this is gonna be the verse, this is gonna be the chorus, and then we're gonna have a breakdown here or whatever. It's just kind of like a bunch of parts that we write, and then we kind of all just get together and jam, and then it turns into a song. And so, yeah, we've never really sat down and been like, this is what we're gonna do.
We want to sound like this.
So many layers of thought stuffed
Which is
into
cool.
one sandwich.
Nice. So like right now,
there's
there's a huge kind
The
of
downside
resurgence of like, I wouldn't say resurgence because it never really died, but like this screamo, post-hardcore, emo in general. What are some other like favorite bands that kind of would like to work with, or maybe think are a little underappreciated right now?
Y'all know I can geek out. I definitely do a lot of the like social media stuff, which keeps me pretty connected to a lot of like what's new. I feel like, and I definitely like, you know, we're all always sharing stuff we find in our chat, but definitely some current projects that I feel like we all get excited about. Like Prize Horse had a record we all really cared about last year. Or you know, at least like most of us really were jamming with that. Another band that I really fuck with, we just played with on tours, A Modest Proposal. Put out a great record last year.
100%. Played them on tour.
Sign Language is another one that's kind of, I feel like, a similar thing with us. Squint, you know, double. So, yeah.